Welcome back, fellow scumbags. I'm Danielle of Ripperoni Racing, and today's episode is going to be about getting this Merkur on its own 2 feet and finishing up the Lincoln 8.8 rear end swap. And by that I mean finally fabbing up mounts and perches to get my coilovers installed. These are the coilovers I'm using. These are just universal circle track boys with eyelets at both ends. 7-inch 440-pound springs. So for the bottom mounts, I'm gonna end up making 3/16 steel plate discs that sit evenly in the bottom of these lower control arm pockets, which used to be the old spring perches. I'm gonna go ahead and make a cardboard template. Now it's time to cook up some steel pancakes. Oh yes, it's time again for my most favoriteest tool in the whole world. Oh yeah. I'll be back. Had a little whoopsie there. Got slag in my shoe and jumped. Ta-da! Some nice steel flapjacks. Before I start mocking up my coilover perches and getting them tacked into place, I have a little bit of prep to do. I've got to, each of these has a sleeve on one side that's not secure yet. So I need to cut down the existing sleeves on the opposite side so that they can go in evenly, and then I can tack those into place. And I need to go ahead and knock off some of the surface rust that started on here from sitting around, because I just, excited new toy, had to open the package. This is the weirdest smelling paint ever. It's just oddly specific that it smells like diapers. It's not like necessarily dirty diapers, just diapers. Okay. So I've got the car set at about where I want ride height. I've actually got it just a little bit higher because I know it's going to drop at least a little bit. I'm not exactly sure how much, but these are pretty stiff springs. So my guess would be not very much. But I'm ready to mock up my coilovers and get them tacked in now. and then I'll set the car down and make sure that I am happy with ride height. So I was starting with these 2-hole brackets, and I think what I'd done is assume that I was going to start the car lower than I now want to start the car, because I want the bottom mount to be either in the middle or toward the outside of the control arm, and even closest where it's in the middle, which is also in the way of other things. See, I'd have to cut out more of the body, which I'm not really trying to do. And even still, I'm a bit off. So, not a big deal though, because I went ahead and got a different bracket. Sweet fucking Christ. And I went ahead and prepped these the same way as the other ones. That ends up working infinitely better. It's a little dark, I know, but that where I have it right here, I have the bottom perch just a little bit biased toward the outside of the control arm, and then I have a hole of adjustment up and down, so I can raise and drop an inch fairly easily. Let's try that again, shall we? Got the purchase cut, angled down to make my ride height a bit taller, because coilovers compress a lot more than I expected. Hopefully this is enough. Well, cool. We're gonna ignore that because the tacks on the other side didn't want to hold. But this side did, and it's more or less exactly where I want it to be. Since I know this side's where I want it, the other side I'm just going to get back up and go ahead and weld. So now what I want to do is I'm going to jack up each side at a time under the lower control arm, get the plate back for exactly where I want it, and then I'm going to drill 3 holes in the lower control arm and mark the same places on the plate, and then I can pull those out, weld them, and get them painted. Yeah. So this one's a little close to the edge, but I'm not worried about it because all these bolts really are for are to keep it from spinning, because obviously the coilover is going to hold it in the pocket. It's not going anywhere. So this one I intelligently tacked on the end and the side so that it's laying flat still where it needs to be. And this one, I'm a dummy, and I put both the tacks on the end, so it's lifted a little bit, which I need to fix before I weld it. Not a big deal, though. Just give it a good... One of these days, I'm going to get a good weld on camera. That one turned out halfway decent. Only compared to that one, but fuck you too. Yay! That's pretty good. Finally. I knew I could weld. Yeah. Act like I know I don't do it. I had a little bit of issue with that one corner. It had little bubbles in it, but that's But that side I got pretty darn good. And look at that guy. Yeah, I can weld once in a while. While I was waiting for the paint on my plates to dry, I went ahead and put down a couple coats on the chassis so I didn't have to deal with surface rust anymore. Well, I got most of the stuff. Wow, it looks really different already, just having that much turned white. Alright. Already got handprints all over my nice white paint. Knew that was gonna happen. Knew that was gonna happen. It's like a normal girl messing up their nails. Like, Anyway. Alright. Time to get these coilovers back in their homes. Officially. Well, more or less. I am gonna need to locate some sleeves the same size. Oh, yeah, this side. To go to the bottom hole, since that's what I'm using now. But I'll find those, come back, and I can weld those and tack those from underneath later. So I just won't be able to torque the top mounts down yet, but they can sit in their home for now. And it's not really possible to get the bolt into the bottom perch, into the bottom mount of the coilover before it goes in. Ta-da! I made this. Oh man, I am already sweaty in my butt. It's hot. I'm tired. It's late. Anything I can do to not have to climb in and out of the car multiple times? Which includes using this wrench as a hammer. Ooh. Ah. I know, I'm dumb. Right now, ride height is pretty much exactly where I wanted it to be. And with any luck, that'll be enough room for me to... drive it at that height, just to begin with. And then... plenty of adjustment to go down from there, though. No worries about that. Makes such a cute little squeaky noise. Well, I'm gonna call that a wrap on this video. I'm so darn tired, I almost can't appreciate it fully, but so many people told me that I was gonna start this swap, get the car all cut up, and then never finish it. But boom, hardest part is finally done. Feels so fucking good. And it's everything I wanted it to be. It's not perfect, but I'm fine with that. And I'm fine with knowing that things are gonna change and I'm gonna wanna make things better and better. Always moving up. I'm super fucking excited that the car is on the ground, on its own suspension. No more sitting on blocks. And next thing, well, I've got a lot of next things, but it's time to start thinking about where I'm wanting my fuel cell to go and my triangulation at the same time, so everything looks good and plays nice together. I'll work on tracking down the sleeves for the bottom holes of my top perches, because, you know, never can get things 100% done by the end of a video, but maybe next time. Something to look forward to. That's all for tonight, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please consider subscribing. It's only going to get better and better, and it won't be too long till you get to see this thing start and ripperoni. Until next time, see you, love you, bye!